All right, we're back again, and quite a bit has changed. As you can see, we got some sheathing, and some of the main points I want to talk about is the connections, the spacing, and that sort of thing. Also for sheathing, so roof sheathing, my trusses are 2 foot on center, so they're 2 foot from center of one truss to center of the next. That span for an OSB plywood, which is what this is, it's too great of a span for no bracing in between. So you put these H clips in, which are cheap insurance. What that does is, so I got a truss right here and a truss right there. You put the H clip in the middle. It's a little extra work. It's a little harder to get the sheet in, but what it does is when you stand right here, this side flexes with that side. It also helps with the warranty for your roofing, making your roofing material last longer. Because if I'm up here cleaning and I step here over and over again, it'll start ripping and tearing that shingle apart. So it's also called for in the drawings, which I'm very happy with. Some homes, they don't require it. Needs to have it, in my opinion. If this was greater than a 1/2 inch thick, so 5/8 or 3/4, that span, it's stronger, so you don't have to have those H clips. So, but for the most part, it's most common 7/16 OSB on your roof sheathing. Okay. Kind of another look at the connection. Here's my girder truss. Up here, the second floor, they got the second floor completed. Right on the end, that rafter, what that rafter is called is a barge rafter. It's a 2x6 SPF, and the joints, I'm not too happy about this joint right here. This should be a scarf joint, so it should be angled instead of a butted joint like that. You should always either a 45-degree angle or a 22.5. 45 is better. So if you 45 that, when you connect the two, for expansion, contraction, it just creates a better visual look to a joint than a butt joint. But I'm not gonna have them rip it off, as much as I would love it the other direction. Another look at this roof. The perimeter sheet of plywood is different than the regular OSB. The reason for that 1/2 inch AC plywood is for this. When you're underneath it, looking up at it, you want to look at nice wood, not that OSB type material. So the plans call for this drip edge right here. It's this extra 1x2. It's a nice decorative look to it. The roofer should also put a drip edge over top of that. So right in this area, right where the girder truss is, there's going to be a ridge beam that carries over to this the sheathing, and it's called a roof over. And there's going to be stick-built trusses out of 2x6s or 2x8s that go down to a sleeper, and the sleeper is a 2x8 that's going to be nailed to this red line right here. And how you do that is level from your ridge over to your plywood. It's kind of that simple. Love it over, but making sure you're nice and square with the roof. But all these cuts, I'll show you another picture of, or another video on the cuts that they were made. I'm very happy with the nice, clean seat cuts that were cut. They're nice and tight, and so better bearing, better strength, better quality, things that I'm really happy with. So, but this is all going to get infilled plywood. It's going to create a valley on that side, and then a valley going down this side, going to the gutter, or two gutters, and the overhang there. This is my little helper, Mr. George Rogers.
Hi.
Up here on the roof with Dad. Whenever possible, keep your family involved. I sure love having them involved. So here's having a look at the drawings. I wanted to show you that valley. We got a 612. So this is the symbol right here for a 612. That's the pitch of the roof. For every 12 inches of run, horizontal run, it rises 6 inches. All right, here's another look at that intersecting roof. We got some very accurate details that are precise. We're gonna have a 2x8 sleeper we're gonna go look at here in a sec. Here's all the rafters, okay, your jack rafters. All right, here's an intermediate sleeper with uprights. They have specific details of where they go. We're gonna go take a look at that. But the main thing is these seat cuts out here on the rafters, they need to be tight, so for good bearing. And frankly, they're doing a great job. Here's the girder truss we looked at earlier. We'll go take a look at that again. All right, so we're back out here on the roof. I wanted to show you this intersection roof right here. We're gonna crawl through, kind of look at the framing, compare those drawings to what was actually done. You're gonna see that there are in fact sleepers. So there's one sleeper there, and then there's another sleeper over on that end where the joists connect to the sleeper. So these are all jack rafters. We got a sway brace right here. We've got those uprights right there, right here. Okay, everything I'm really impressed and happy with. They're doing a stellar job. All connected and hung off the girder truss. So, does it need to have all that? Could it just be a farmhouse style gable roof? Yeah, but this gives it more character. That space in there is not usable space, but it looks pretty awesome. So here's kind of another up close and look at the eaves, the overhangs from underneath. This is what it looks like from up above, but from underneath. Kind of get a closer view of tight joints of our barge rafter from underneath. It looks good, and it gives a stopping point. Those 2x4s that are laid flat on the edges. So for our siding, when it goes up against it, it gives a stopping point. Looks great. Here's a closer view of the screw, the timber lock screw, the 6-inch timber lock screw that's anchoring the truss down to the double top plate, and it continues on down from there. So that prevents the uplift happening from the wind going up and over. Let's go have a look. All right, so this is a shot of one of those screws. You can see that they're already in right there. Doesn't take much. The engineer calls that you can have an equivalent as well, but this particular one has an equivalent of up to 540 pounds of uplift. So as wind comes up over a building, it's wanting to suck your roof right up and off. So engineering requires that, not just the sheathing on the outside, because in this case the sheathing is broke on the double top plates. So by having that screw, it connects the double top plate to the roof truss. So that's connected, and then that's connected to the wall, and it's all transferred back down to the foundation. So in addition, we're gonna have some venting blocks every single bay, and you have to provide these L650 clips to connect those. I don't know if they're quite done. We'll take a look. So here's the venting block, and here's that clip that's required by engineering. Every bay. So in between a truss is what I'm calling a bay. Come back to the set of plans. So kind of another look at the lower roof. We got all our venting that's cut in. These diagonal vents are for plumbing vents. So down below we got a bathroom, so every plumbing fixture has to have a vent going up to the roof. So that's what the diagonal indicates. Square indicates roof vents. Not sure why we got them down low. We got all that venting down low, the screens in every bay, and we got them up high. So there's other methods. You could do a ridge vent. Here we got this type of vent, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes the ridge vent doesn't escape that air as well as this, but aesthetically looks better. This is all, they try to get it on the inconspicuous side of the house, so you're not staring up at some venting. Ridge vents, nice thing about those, it doesn't matter what side of the house are, they all look good. So all right, we're back underneath the roof. We're taking a look at some sway bracing that's happening, some brick cross bracing that's getting finished up. So we got our monkey man Jacob up there, and get a close look at these sway braces. They're 4 foot on center. They got blocking. We got blocking in between the trusses, nailed off and nailed down to the gable ends with our Simpson tie. Look at that. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about the inspector failing this, so they're doing a great job. We got sway braces. You can call them diagonal brace. They are sway braces, but you can call them diagonal bracing, shear bracing, several other names. So we're just getting this going. They're gonna follow through all the way on that end. The other side is gonna require it as well, and as well as the other roof. So that's all that the pickup work. Got the majority of the work done down there. Majority of the trusses spread. So we'll take a look. So we got the access for the attic. It's in the closet, this walk-in closet. It's awesome. It's up high enough for the R49 blown-in insulation. So it's gonna have some pretty darn thick insulation. We got all of the cross bracing done. You can see up here, we got a 2x4 going from gable end over to gable end. On the gable ends, it's got a strong back, helps keep that nice and straight because the studs are flat, so it needs that additional kind of support. It's got the diagonal bracing, 4 foot on center. This section here, this section's complete. Yeah. Out through the window, there's a little dormer out here. Right out here, everything looks great. The plywood out on the end, bar drafter, that's going to be some pickup work. We're trying to get the majority of the diagonal bracing done for the inspection. So inspection is going to be probably happening on Monday or this afternoon. So it should be ready for this afternoon or Monday. So here in Lane County, inspectors are only 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's going to be one of those. So I think that's it for the trusses. Everything's looking great. There's a few little odds and ends and pickup work that's going to be happening, but for the most of it, that's the majority of it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave any comments down below. If you have any questions, I'll try to get to those. And like always, I love having you here, and I'll see you next time on the Home Build.